Hola, como esta, my brothers? Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Apologies, I'm testing something right now. All right, let's go, let's go. Okay, very happy. My, there's no echo anymore. Figured that out, apparently, with Streamlabs, I fucked it up and had my camera recording my audio as well as my microphone. Oopsie poopsie. So now we're all back. We're good. We're chilling now. Boo, 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 boo. And now we're doing better. I also got the bit rate up on my shit because I had it at like 2500. Absolutely fucking atrocious. So now we got that up to a decent number. So this will actually look good at the very least on Twitch. I don't know how it looked on TikTok, but I think it looked okay. But welcome back, welcome back. We are going to be playing First Berserker Kazan. Do not even worry about that. You don't have to worry about that. But we got something we got to do first. Tomorrow, we have the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be there. You will be seeing this with me. But before that, we gotta have some fun with this thing because, like, as much as I love going in and we're going to be seeing something very nice, very cool, I need a little bit more. I need a little bit more. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna hop over to this. We're making a bingo card, baby. We are making a bingo card for this, and y'all are gonna help me out. So. First thing I want to do is I am pulling up my old video where I went over what I wanted to see for the Switch 2. Give me a moment. This is gonna be a bit of a scroll. Here we go. What I want from the Nintendo Switch 2. Here you got the notes. You got the behind the scenes right now. So we're gonna do this, and I want to see how close we can get. I want to see if we can get a bingo. I want to see how many of these we can knock off, though. The free space, we get the NS2. Big shocker. I don't know if we get that. That might not be a good idea to put in the free space for the Nintendo Switch 2, but I think we're gonna get the Nintendo Switch 2. But I'll throw it in there just in case. Just in case. Next up, price. I definitely think it's gonna be $400 or $399.99. I don't. Here's how I'm thinking about the price. I am hoping for 350. I'm expecting 400. I could see 450 and I'd be okay with it. If it's 500, if it's 500, that's going to be a little iffy. That's going to be a little iffy for me. But we'll see about that tomorrow. All right, next up, the specs. I explained this before. If you would like to see more explanations and more in depth me talking about this, please go check out the video on my channel, on my main channel. Links are on my Twitch and my TikTok page. But I am thinking we are going to be getting 1080p 60 in handheld. And I think we are going to be getting 1440p maybe at 1440p 30/60. Or you know what? No, fuck it. We'll just say 1440p docked. Because I don't want to put 30 or 60 just because I want to get it right. Like, I'm thinking it might be 30. I could, like, it should be 60, but I could see them putting it at 30, and I also just don't feel like getting that wrong. So we're just going to sit here and say 1440p docked. Next, OLED screen. I've actually been seeing things about this. I did say that I think it would have an OLED screen back, like, 2.5 months ago when the Direct came out. I don't think there's going to be an OLED anymore. like as time has gone on, and I've seen other people talking about the Switch 2 as well. An OLED wouldn't really make as much sense. I mean, you got to think about it, where the OLED on the original Switch was a $50 price hike. So if they're going to throw that on the Switch 2 as well, that would make it $50 more expensive. And right there, unless they have the price down to, like I said, 350, 400, but like before the $50 price hike, then maybe some people would be okay with it. But at the same time, a lot of parents are going to be like, hold up, 400, 450 bucks. I don't know about that. So I can see them not doing the OLED and then doing in like maybe 3 or 4 years the OLED version, or maybe 2 years, and then that'll be for the more niche groups. So I'm not going to put an OLED screen on here because I don't think that's going to happen. The dock having Ethernet baked in, that's kind of a given. Um, I would say I would say that's pretty. I would say that makes sense to me. I would say that's probably standard because we got the Ethernet cable with the OLED version, and I don't see why they would go like against that, or why they wouldn't put that in there. Um, Especially since we are at least assuming that with some of these new capabilities, we are going to be seeing maybe COD move over, maybe some more of these FPS games. So if you want to move FPS over, I would say you kind of need Ethernet, especially if you're going to move over Valorant, because I don't think Valorant is on the Switch. And then it'll obviously just make Fortnite better. A dock with Ethernet just makes sense to me. Larger internal storage. We're gonna say 64 gigabyte internal storage. I think that is still I think that still makes sense to me. I would obviously love it to be higher. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh my god, it's 128 gigabytes. Jesus Christ, what are we doing? Absolutely the fuck not. No, if it's bigger, I'm happy. I don't mind getting that bingo wrong. But 64 gigabytes makes sense to me. Joy-Cons as a mouse, I'm not even going to put that on there because I feel that's almost a given. Hall effect joysticks. For anybody that doesn't know what Hall effect is, based off my very limited and old knowledge and research, Hall effect joysticks are basically ones where they don't actually have to contact anything underneath. I think they use either magnets or sensors or something, so there's no friction when you actually go and do all of this, which means no stick drift. It was something I believe in either the GameCube controller or like the Wavebird, um, all the way back in the day where they had Hall effect joysticks. Um, I don't, like I said, very limited knowledge. Not the you don't come here for the correct information. You come here for what I think is the correct information. But I think Hall effect joysticks is something we could definitely be seeing. Shut up about Joy-Con colors. New UI screen. I'm not gonna say a new UI because no shit. If like we're probably getting a new UI, but I will say themes are back. Because that's honestly something that could be hit or miss. That is very well something that could be hit or miss. I mean, thinking about this logically, the Wii, no actual home console from Nintendo has had themes. The only consoles that have had themes are the DS and the 3DS technically, because the Wii didn't have themes. The Wii U didn't have themes. In fact, the only theme they had technically in a way was the Animal Crossing one with like Amiibo Festival, I think it was, which all that was basically just you had to put the game in, and then that was its own like hub thing. So that was the only theme you could think of. Um, and then the Switch obviously had black and white, but nothing else. But the DS had different colors that you could use for themes, and then the 3DS obviously had so many themes. So saying themes are back is really just saying, oh, we're actually getting themes on a home console. But Nintendo's only done themes on only two consoles, and Yeah, it's actually weird to think a lot of consoles only have only done like customizable themes in their most recent consoles. Like thinking about it, like obviously PS5 just had theirs, and all of that. PS4 obviously, PS3 had it a bit. Um, I don't think any you can't even do it on PS2 or PS1. Xbox obviously original no. Xbox 360. I don't know if the 360 had any. Um, I'm not sure if the 360 had themes at all. I know the one in the. Actually, I don't even think the one or the Series X did. Did they? I don't even know. Anyways, themes are back. Um, Next up, cartridge redesign. I'm not gonna put that in here. Mario Kart. I'm gonna assume Mario Kart X, not 9. I am assuming that that they're going to show up the new Mario Kart. That's obvious, but I am assuming that the name is going to be Mario Kart X and not Mario Kart 9. If you want a more detailed description on that, you can go watch the video again. But I believe that Mario Run, you can either look at Mario Run or Mario Home Circuit as like a Mario Kart 9, or not Mario Kart Run, but there was a mobile Mario Kart, like a mobile game, and then Mario Kart Home Circuit. I think you can either combine them both or look at one of them as Mario Kart 9, and I think that's what Nintendo is going to do. And or because this is a new Switch, because it's a new console and everything, they're just going to say, okay, we're just going to skip right over to X. It's a nice round number, it sounds cool. It would make a little bit of sense in my mind. Hey, let's start off this console with a cool sounding thing, a cool name for the new Mario Kart. That to me that just makes sense. So Mario Kart X. Um, I don't think we're going to be seeing anything on those. FF7 Rebirth. Uh, Actually, do I want to put this in here? I don't know if they're going to show this here. Um, huh. FF7 Rebirth. I don't know if I'd put that in here just because I don't. I do think that it is going to be coming to the Switch too. We have heard a lot of rumors and leaks that this will be happening, but I don't think that they'll show it here. I don't think they're going to show it during the direct. Same with Halo Master Chief. I don't think they're going to do that. Um, Haptic triggers. I think that is something we can throw on here as a possibility. Haptic triggers are the ones like on the. Let, let me make sure that before I start saying dumb shit. Yes, the PS5 has haptic triggers, for example, where basically you have some range essentially to actually like you have some range here. Let me. You have some range here, so the game is able to kind of like have resistances on here. So like if you're shooting a bow and arrow, for example, like I believe in God of War, sometimes when you're like, or you're swinging an axe at a tree, it'll like resist slightly, so you have to push down harder on it to actually get it to go. Um, and you actually have some space, so it's also for like racing games where instead of just you're either going or you're not, you can like, oh, I want to speed up a little bit, and not that much. That was something that the other Switch had a big problem with a lot, especially with racing games, was that triggers would be used to kind of like go forward, but it was literally an on or off state. And if and so you were either not moving or not accelerating, or you were going full blast. So that's something that haptic triggers can absolutely help move away from. And if they want to do like a pack-in title or maybe like a 1-2 switch sort of deal that's not 1-2 switch, maybe like an Astro's playroom sort of deal, they could use those haptic triggers to obviously use that a lot better. Uh, Link cable. The link cable was something that was a big out there thing. That was a big out there thing. I don't know if that's going to be a thing. That was mainly because of the USB-C cable on top. I was like, huh, this would be funny if, or not funny, this would be cool if they, like, oh, now we have link cables where you can, like, use that to trade. But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, we have online. Doing a link cable would be, while it would be very Nintendo to be like, hey, you can get this link cable to connect your Switches. That's very Nintendo. I don't think that they would do that. At the very least, I don't think they would show it during this direct. Um, NFC reader expansion. This is definitely like a bit of an out there one, just because we have not gotten much of the NFC reader this time. The most we've gotten out of the NFC reader is from obviously Amiibo, which we have not been getting much of recently. I think the most recent one off the top of my head is Tears of the Kingdom and those Amiibos, which was 2 years ago. So I don't even think two fucking hell 2 years ago, but I think Tears of the Kingdom was the last series to get Amiibos. But I think they might add some new Amiibos. Uh, Amiibo. Ami- that's holy fuck. Amiibo. Amiibo expansion. I think we can definitely see um more abilities with that, or maybe just some new amiibos coming. I don't see why we wouldn't. Again, new Switch, it would be a way to really pop that off and be like, hey, we're also going to have some new amiibos coming out with this. I could see that being a thing. Um, a screensaver. Screensaver while docked. This is something that has this was something that a lot of people said during with the first Switch. It's like, why is this not like a screensaver or anything? Because when it's in the dock, you can't really see my Switch right now, but when the Switch is in the dock, you have the whole plastic part blocking the screen. So you can't see the screen, which means if you're not using your Switch or you have it docked, it is basically just sitting there not doing anything. Which obviously is like most consoles. But the problem, not the problem, but the thing with the Switch is that it has the unique scenario where, because of its being able to be a handheld and docked, most people think, and I think as well, that it should have a little bit more while it's in docked, because then while it's in docked, it just feels like a generic console when it is technically a little bit more than that. So we saw it with the Switch 2, um, NS2. Oh no, Nintendo. So you can see it here with this, where it's a little bit more rounded out. You can actually see some of the screen here. So what me and a lot of other people are thinking is that while they won't do a full screensaver, because admittedly that could take up some battery, you could get a screen burn in from that. Uh, they would have a small one, like right up here, maybe get cut off right here, or like at least go down here, where maybe they throw in like a Mario screensaver, where it's him in the Mushroom Kingdom or like in the Green Hills, and he's running across it and like going around and around, like going around and around it. Or maybe Sonic doing that in his Green Hill Zone and going around and around. You could have Link running across. Basically, just like a little screensaver, maybe a little clock or something on here, just so that the Switch has a little bit more purpose while it's docked. Ryan, what's up? What's up? Welcome back. Um, let's see. But yeah, a screensaver while docked, I could see that 100%. Better eShop and NSO. Holy shit. Um, and we're gonna throw those in one. Actually, we're gonna throw them in two separate things, just because that is a little bit too wide for me to be like, yeah, put them together. But updated eShop and updated NSO, holy fuck. I'm not even like, I know I am not alone when I say this. I know. If you have ever gone on that Nintendo eShop, it is laggy as fuck. Laggy as fuck. Um, on top of that, uh, your selection of games or the games that they recommend to you are always like the exact same games. Like I'm still getting Mario Kart Deluxe on there, and I'm just Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I'm like, dude, like I have this game physically. You've been recommending it to me for months. You think I maybe just don't want the game? Like I think they might want to update their AI, their algorithm, whatever, to recognize when I don't want a fucking game. Or when you have showed it to me the same time every time I've opened the eShop for the past 8 years and I haven't downloaded it, I haven't bought it. You think maybe I don't want the fucking game? So updated eShop. Same with NSO. NSO has just got a bit of the buggy problems with, at least in my experience, with like navigating the main menus inside of the menus, like going into like the Game Boy player or the Game Boy Advanced player, all of those. That's fine, but the actual Nintendo Switch Online, like the button at the bottom of the little dock there, that's where I start to see some problems, like when you can go in between like the quests and the updates and announcements. That we need to get it updated a bit, please. Ooh, yes. GameCube to NSO, and I'm actually gonna throw Wii to NSO as well. I think there have been rumors about GameCube coming into NSO, which very fucking cool, very fucking cool. But there have been rumors and playtests going on for GameCube, and people have been thinking that might get added to NSO. I think that would be very cool. Start getting some GameCube games, and I would love that. I would think if they do that, that might be something where they put it onto that like higher paid tier with the N64 and the Game Boy Advanced, and either they just tack it onto that, or maybe they kick one of those down. Like maybe the N64 gets kicked down to the lower tier. I don't care. I'm paying for the higher tier anyway, and I never even play NSO. Oh my god. Fuck the friend code. Fuck the friend code, dude. Please, we all like we have Nintendo accounts. Pretty much everybody that is on has a Nintendo account. Just let us do this by gamertag. Just let us do this by gamertag. Gamertags, to my knowledge, have to be unique anyway, so we might as well just go off gamer tags. And if you want to do a friend code, if you want to do a friend code, do not make it 25 characters. Holy shit, do not make it 25 characters, because I think that is what ruins it even more, is when you make it 25 fucking characters, or 32, or whatever they have. Just, if you're gonna do friend codes, make it like 8 characters long. Make it like 8 characters long, because, correct me if I'm wrong, 2 to the 8. Wait. No. No, that's not it. 20, because you're using letters and numbers. That's 8 to the 20 or 36. That's 8 to the 36. So you got plenty of like 8 to the 36. You got plenty of combinations. I don't think you're going to be running out anytime soon if you just do 8 friend codes and using letters and numbers. I think you got plenty. Like I said, go off gamer tagger. If you have to do friend codes, make it like 8 characters long. We do not need it to be 25. More themes, yeah. Screenshots and screen recordings. Eh. Yes. New 3D Mario. I definitely think we're going to be seeing something about that. I don't think we're going to be seeing, or you know what? Let me do Breath of the Wild / Tears of the Kingdom enhanced versions. I definitely think those are two where we might actually be seeing enhanced versions, sort of like how PS4 we went to PS5 and there was some new versions for that. So I think Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom are definitely two that we might see, one or two, because we've heard about, I think, dev kits, or at least people talking about. We backtrack. We've been hearing rumors and leaks about people getting a chance to play Breath of the Wild on the Switch 2 at an enhanced version. So I definitely think that that is possible, if not nearly confirmed, and that would also make Tears of the Kingdom be understandably in there as well. Um, for that, let's see. Keep the IR camera. I think we can easily say that the IR camera is not going to be in there. Ooh, something that I don't know if they'll put in here or if they will do, but I'm gonna say this anyway. Um, second screen functionality. Uh, Another thing that I think you probably have heard about if you've been checking around is that because of the USB C on top of the Switch, people have been thinking, oh, maybe there's going to be a way that you can put a second screen on. There was also a patent that went out like a month or two ago about the ability to take your Joy Cons and be able to like flip your Switch around and put your Joy Cons up, technically upside down, so the USB C port that's in the middle would be on top instead of on bottom like it normally is, and then that you could use for a second screen. Regardless, you would use either one of them to get a second screen for your system, and you could use it for DS, 3DS, or maybe even Wii U functionality, which I think is fucking awesome. And I think if they are not doing that, they need to get on that immediately, because they could. This is the system where they can quite literally take every one of their games that they have ever made and bring them onto the system with near perfect functionality, near one-to-one functionality. Obviously this is going to be a little weird with like, N64, GameCube, just because the controllers are slightly different. Same with like Wii and everything. Like some controls are obviously not going to work as well, and some people don't want controls to work exactly the same. Dear God, any Wii game comes over and they require you to use motion controls, get the fuck out of here. But this is the system that can bring over so many other games, and they've already brought up Game Boy all the way to Game Boy Advance. They've already brought NES all the way up to N64, which means the only ones that we are missing currently are the GameCube, the Wii, the Wii U, ones obviously that have not been ported over, and we don't have the original games of the Wii U with that gamepad support, and DS and 3DS games. Again, some of these have been ported over, some of them have gotten remasters or enhanced editions onto the Switch, but with a second screen, you would be able to, or they could find a way to digitally support all of those older games in their native states. Or if they want to make remasters, they can do it still in the style of like, say, DS. Say they want to, let's just throw it out there. Let's say they want to remaster Pokemon Diamond, or not Diamond, they already did that. Pokemon Black and White, or Black and White 2, because that's something we've been talking about recently in the Pokemon verse. They could port it over, and while it would be weird to say, hey, you need to have this, you need to do this with a TV or something, you can still throw up that functionality. Like maybe it's something where you will normally have it, like say you have it in handheld. I'm going off on a tangent. Run it back. Let's say, for example, Pokemon White 2. You have it in handheld, you have the Switch in handheld, and you don't have the thing on top. Uh, let's say you do that. You have, you're playing the game, and then, motherfucker, where am I going with this? You have it, you're playing the game, and it's kind of like BDSP, where you have the game, and maybe you have like a second screen up in the top right, and that's where that old lower screen will go. And then it'll also have some functionality where you have that second screen on top where it'll move it to the second screen. You'll have your bottom screen right there. And maybe it's in the DS aspect ratio because the Switch is obviously a lot wider. So you might actually have to, get like change the aspect ratio, which would make sense. But they would do that. And then maybe there's also something with the cast button or the C button where you could, instead of having the second screen right on your Switch, you would have it go to your TV. Maybe. I'm on this for too long. Next up, cast button to TV. We have already seen the C button has actually been officially released. The C button has been confirmed. Nintendo came out with their Nintendo Today app, and they had a promotional for the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, obviously, which actually gave us this C button that we have not been able... Fucking Reddit. That we have not been able to see before. Shut up. Okay. You're pissing me off, Reddit. Anyway, there's the C button right here. In the trailer, they had this blanked out, so this was just a blank button. But now there is a C button here. So a lot of people think that there's really two options for this. That's like the main ideas. Is that this will either be a community button where maybe this is sort of like your on your DualShock, it's kind of like your recording button right here where you click that and it lets you like do screen recordings, upload screenshots and stuff like that. That could be what that'll be. Or this will be a cast button, which I believe in and kind of hoping that this is what it's for, where you would click on it and it would let you cast it to your dock. Like it would connect wirelessly to your dock, and your dock would then connect up to your TV, and you would essentially have your two screens. Again, you could do Wii U compatibility with that, or Wii, whatever you want to do. But it would allow you to have two screens right there. Either way, the only thing that's like going against me saying that it is absolutely the cast button is that you would only have a button on the controller if it is one that you are going to be wanting to access a lot. And I feel like a cast feature would be something that you could put in like a menu within the like the Switch home screen. Like maybe there's a button on the home screen at the bottom, assuming the UI is similar. At the bottom there where like there's the power button, and then next to it there's like the cast button. That would make more sense to me instead of it being on the controller. And hey, maybe there'll still be that. But it would make it like in that sense, it makes a little bit more sense to me that C button would be like a community button. But I'm hoping it's a cast button. Next, another one I'm throwing to the wind. Achievement system. This is one I'm going to dick ride the fuck out of. I want an achievement system with Nintendo. I want an achievement system. Like it's not like the Switch is absolutely garbage without one. But I think an achievement system, again, you can go watch the video for more in depth, but it gives a bit more of an incentive for people to play. Like the entire reason, or the main reason I should say, that I play through PlayStation is because of the achievement system. You can look behind me. A lot spatial awareness, motherfucker. A lot of my games are PlayStation. PS5, that's the end of my PS4 collection, and then PS3. A lot of my collection is PlayStation because I like the achievement system that they have. No hate to Xbox, not a fan of gamer score. I'm more of a fan of the trophies. So maybe they could do something here where you can actually get those gold and silver coins a little bit easier, or maybe they throw in completely different ones, like maybe some Mario power-up style trophies. All in all, I want an achievement system. It would give me a little bit more incentive to buy for this Switch. Next up, Pokemon Gen 5 remakes. I'm fucking calling it now. I want them. I want them. We're also going to put retro Pokemon to NSO. Or we're just going to say collection. Retro Pokemon collection. Again, if they do a second screen, I can see this happening. But I thought, you know what, fuck it. I want to throw it in there. Is there anything else? Because I don't really have a last one. Is there anything else I can think of? Is there anything else I can think of for what I would want? Maybe. I want to put a game in here. I just don't know what. Tomodachi Life 2. Because that came out of fucking nowhere. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean. It just so much of that direct, it just came out of the fucking woodwork, and it's just like, oh yeah, I can't believe we're getting Patapon 1 and 2. We're getting fucking Tomodachi Life 2. And I'm just sitting here like, where the fuck are y'all? Where did this all come from? I'm not mad. I'm just confused. Where did y'all come from? I don't want to put another Pokemon. I just put in 2 of those. I don't want to put in Link. I put in Mario. I put in 3D Mario. Let's do one of these. I don't want to say Final Fantasy VII. Let's do Halo Master Chief Collection. Because this is another one of those rumors that we have been hearing about Xbox porting over some of their games over. Halo Master Chief Collection has been one that has been heavily talked about in this field. So I think that this could be one that we could absolutely see. All right. And we're going to shuffle items. Okay. And generate. There we go. There we go. This is our bingo card, ladies and gentlemen. And play online. I just want to make sure that this is... All right, cool. I just want to copy this over, save it for tomorrow, so I don't lose it. No, I don't want an Excel sheet. Dumbass. I can't just make a text file? Fuck off. Okay. There we go. All right, I've got the link for that set up. Now, neat little pivot.